What's up, party people? Did you guys see the new intro? That is so nice, right? So I know you guys are really gonna love that, and the outro too. Like everything has been like, you know how WINJECT does. They just WINJECTify and everything. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. I am on WINJECT Radio, presented by WINJECT Studios, and I am super stoked that you are here with me now. I don't know what you guys are waiting for, but you guys need to go onto winject.com/register. Go ahead and get that free profile done and follow my community because you guys are taking too long to go on there. Now, a few of you have already gone there. Hi. A few of you have already gone on there, and I have been able to email you guys and text and all of that great stuff. So I'm super stoked that some of you have already jumped on this. It is free. All right. It is free. It's a free community that I'm trying to build because I want to pour into you. There's more videos coming. I've been working on content and ebooks and all that kind of stuff. And the more that community grows, the more we're going to be able to connect because I'm going to start doing Zoom meetings in there and all kinds of stuff so we can brainstorm and talk about business and talk about mindset and all that great stuff. So I need you. I need you there. I need you to be a part of my community, winject.com/register. Okay. So that you guys can be a part of my fam in there. All right. All right now. Right, Lauren? I know that new intro is lit. I know. Good morning. That is so true. I love the new intro and outro. I freaking love it. So I'm super stoked about all of what WINJECT is doing and how it's growing and expanding. And it's just a beautiful thing. So make sure you guys get on there because I want you to be a part of that, a part of my community, a part of what's going on in WINJECT. And it is free. So stop making excuses and get your behinds over there and get on winject.com/register and let's do this thing. Okay. All right. Good. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about what's holding you back. And I've been thinking about this because, well, we had a little bit of a surprise the last day or so where we're renting right now, but the place that we're renting, the guy came on, good morning, beauty goals. And the landlord came and said to us, well, you know what? We've decided we're going to sell. You got to go in 8 weeks. So now, I know this is happening to a lot of people. It's not just us, right? But there's a lot of things that I found myself struggling with. Hi, Jay. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. I realized that, there's a lot of things in my life and some of the people that I'm coaching in their lives and stuff that keep holding us back. And I wanted to touch on like a few of them that I see as a theme throughout. And so there's a few things that we need to look at in our lives, right, that are holding us back from the things that we want to accomplish in life. Now, when I got this letter from my, email from my landlord, it threw me off. It threw me off. It threw my family off. And so I am really, kind of like thrown aback about that and realizing like, okay, what is holding me back here? The first reaction was anger and stuff like that, right? Fear, anger, all that great stuff. So then I said, you know what? I'm glad I'm talking about this week about the topic of what's holding you back. Because there's a few things that we can look at and you might not fit into all of these, but I want you to take a look and see if any of them fit you, right? So one of the first things that I started thinking about is the victim mentality, because I started to get very pissed off about this email, right? My husband did as well. And I'm like, am I having a victim mentality here? This is when you see yourself as the victim, right? As the victim in life, right? People who have this victim mentality, they often blame someone else, blame all the things that are going wrong in their life. And, sometimes when we're in that mentality too, we won't take responsibility for maybe what's our action or our choices, things like that. And because of this mentality of being the victim of somebody victimizing you, you're going to have a lot of difficulty, right? Recovering and actually moving forward when you get hit with things you can't control. And sometimes we get hit so hard, we can't seem to move forward and achieve that success that we are, trying to pursue. So one of the things I ask myself often, because I have been a victim in my life with domestic violence and poverty and homelessness and all of that in my life. And for a long time when I was younger, I always put my bootstraps on and I just did what I had to do. But I always had this somewhat of a victim mentality where I kind of wanted it to be everyone else's fault and none of it being mine, right? So when bad things used to happen to me, I used to be like, oh, this is life. This is what it is. Right. And when bad things happen to me, you have to think about what you're thinking about. Right. If it's not your fault, stop taking on the responsibility of it being your fault. If it's not your fault, it's not your fault, right? And so some things you can't control. But if it's not your fault, then don't take it on as it is, right? Because that's how you also become a victim, is taking on stuff that doesn't even belong to you. If somebody's hurting you or doing something wrong, betraying you, all that crap, that's on them. So don't take that on, right? Now, I do want you, however, to take responsibility for whatever you have done, whatever you think your part is, so that you don't go blaming the world for stuff, right? You have to really like take a look of that. What the victim mentality really starts to formulate itself and have these like three things or three or four things that I'm finding. And it's that you have this mentality that bad things will always happen to you and bad things keep happening to you and you can't catch a break. Right. And when you start to talk like that, I can't catch a break. Why does this always happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. You might be struggling there with a little bit of a victim mentality. And I'm going to highly recommend that you take a look at what you are thinking about. All right. You always have this mentality. If you're sitting in this victim mentality, you always have a way of blaming other people or blaming the circumstance or blaming the job or blaming the landlord or blaming the right. And I've realized that even like if I sit in it too long, that victim mentality, because it has been ingrained in me, or because I have been victimized and lived in it for so long, I realized that I can stay there if I choose to, right? I mean, there's no point of trying new things. Everything always messes up anyway. That's life, right? And if you don't like the way that feels, right? If you don't like the way it feels that you are sitting in this mess all the time, then I actually think that's a good thing. Because the good news is if you're realizing it, maybe you are going to change, right? So one of the things that I think is holding you back is if you're not looking at the fact that you are always the victim. Shit happens, unfortunately. Thank you, beauty goals. Unfortunately, things happen, right? But you can't constantly just be the one that's the victim of that. I always get these people also say, oh, why me? Why not you? Life happens. It happens to all of us and it freaking sucks sometimes, right? But you can sit there and keep with the why me and not do anything about it. Or you can look at it and say, why me? Okay, maybe because I need to gain strength from this. I have to learn a lesson. This is going to serve me well. I'm going to really be able to cultivate some skill sets here that I'm going to be able to move forward, right? I have failed in business in the past, and that has taught me so much. And as I'm moving forward, I'm more strategic. I'm a little smart. I'm not throwing my money on the wall and hoping that it sticks to something, right? And so what got me into this victim mentality, or why I felt stuck this week, and that wasn't even, this topic I picked like a month ago, but the reason it like culminated really well was because of this letter from this landlord. Because honestly, we have nowhere to go, and we're like, wow, we don't even have money, like much money saved, because we've been throwing our money at all debt, like old debt, to get rid of it. Right. And so you start to become the victim. Like, why is this happening to me? Why did the landlord do this? I can't believe it. Blah, blah, blah. What am I going to do? And while you're stuck in that, you're not moving forward. You are not moving forward. You are stuck. Right. And I don't want you to be stuck. So you need to think about your words, what you're thinking about, where you're focusing on. Because if you're going to focus on the bad, you're going to have plenty to focus on, because we all got a bunch of garbage in our life that we could be focusing on all the time. It's not going to serve you well, but you definitely have the right to do it. Okay? The other thing I thought about what else can be a reason why somebody is not moving forward and what's holding them back? Well, lack of confidence, right? You may have trouble connecting with people. You may have trouble connecting and asking for what you really want because you don't have the confidence to think that you're worth it or that you can, right? You might be waiting for these things to happen on their own. And you know what? Sometimes the stuff doesn't happen on its own. You got to go for it, right? And so instead of you taking the steps to make it happen, you're sitting back waiting. Well, you know what? That's not going to serve you well either. And then you're going to be the victim. Why isn't this happening for me? Why can't it? Blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? Like all of this stuff really does connect. Confidence is, really something you have to cultivate. All right. You have to ask for what it is you want. All right. And it self-serves you. It's a thing that will serve you well when you speak up for who you are, right? You have to start thinking about the growth mindset. You have to start thinking about how you're going to expand your mind and how are you going to really set these goals in your life, these realistic goals that are going to stretch you and make you move forward. And even if it's step by step, I don't care if you guys do like one little thing, but do something. Okay. Because if you're sitting up in here with no confidence and you're joking about yourself in a negative way and you're focusing on negative things and you joke about your achievements as if they're not worth it, or you blame other people for things in your life and it's better for them and not for me type of thing, right? If you can't accept a compliment, like this is something that's huge, right? Like I'll say to someone, oh my gosh, thank you so much for blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, but I don't need that back, bro. I don't need that back. I'm trying to give you a compliment, right? I have learned to accept that. I have so many amazing affirmations and words that have been poured over me. I am so grateful. And I also accept them. Right? Because I've learned to build up the confidence within myself to know I have something, right? What's that, Chris? Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. If you know exactly who you are, exactly right. If you know exactly who you are, be solution centric, not problem centric. And that's true, Chris. That is so true. And that happens a lot, right? The brain tends to go straight to the problem centric because it's trying to protect you. It's trying to protect you. The problem is you need to start changing your mindset, or otherwise you will stay stuck there. Guys, you will stay stuck there. How many of us have been down and up on this roller coaster? You know what I'm saying? And we reach success and we're still struggling with this, right? You have to start really understanding that you have something to bring to the freaking table. Let me tell you something. If you are out there working for someone and you're developing something in their business and you are working hard and you see that the work that you're doing is coming to fruition, guess what? You got a skill set. Okay. You, my friend, have a skill set. All right. And just because maybe a job that you're in doesn't really respect you or admire you or really take into account what you do, does not mean you don't have it. All right. It just means that they're lacking the wisdom to see it. All right. But you have to start making sure that you are challenging yourself to go for it anyway. Right. What's that? The brain does that to stop the threat. Exactly. The problem is once you stop the threat, move to the and get to work. That's right. It's exactly what the brain is doing. It's protecting you. Right. It's trying to protect you. And you know who's trained that? You've trained it, because when something went, ouch, you didn't play with it no more, right? And people scared you. Don't do that. Be careful. Oh my gosh, what if you go homeless? This is what happened to me. And then before you know it, here you are. And you're avoiding your challenges. You're avoiding the challenge because of fear of failing, right? And you start to become very upset and criticize yourself a lot. You don't like critique of others, and you don't like, and you criticize yourself a lot, which is like an oxymoron, right? But this is what we do. Take inventory. I really want you to take inventory of who the freak you are. Take inventory of what you know. And don't give me the BS that you don't know nothing. That's BS. You're just not thinking clearly because you're lacking confidence. All right. So look at what you have already achieved. It is very easy to lose confidence if you believe you haven't achieved anything. I get it. I've been there. But once I started to write down, holy crap, hold on a second. I am really damn good at connecting with people. I am really a great person in customer service. I'm a damn good chef. I'm really good at managing. I'm really good at producing SOPs and so on and so forth. And I started to realize that I'm a really good businesswoman. I did not realize that. You know how I realized it? Because I was doing it for someone else. I was killing it, right? And then instead of me thinking that I had something, no, I gave all of my knowledge and wisdom thinking that's the job, not realizing I'm the one bringing it to the table. All right? So you need to realize what you're bringing to the table and stop telling yourself that you don't know anything. That's not true. That is not true. Okay? Like my husband had a car business, detailing. And I'm like, looking at this amazing work. They take this car and then it's like spanking brand new, shining. That's a skill set. Okay. That's a skill set. And so you can't tell me that that's not a skill set just because you work at a car wash. BS. That means you know something. You know about customer service. You know about cleaning. You know about making things look pretty. Like you know something. Okay. So accept who you are. There is only one of you, my friend. There is only one of you. And that is freaking awesome, right? I always say there's only one of me, and you're very lucky that there's only one of me, right? So do what you need to do to build up your self-confidence. Take an inventory list of who you are and be kind to others too. Make sure that you have a lot of acts of kindness that you are doing to other people. That's going to help you really develop the confidence in you, because as you're kind, people will be kind, okay? I promise you that does work, right? Keep your promises too. If you're going to make a promise to someone else and to yourself, keep the promises to yourself. Keep the promises that you make. And that's going to also build your confidence. All right. So those are some of the things that you can get stuck on. Oh, I got a big one for you. And I'm sure a lot of you know about this one, right? The imposter syndrome. Oh my gosh. Can anybody give me a big shout out if they have ever struggled with being an imposter? An imposter syndrome is like, you think, like you're doing these things that you just took inventory on, right? So you're trying to teach something and you feel like you're a fraud, right? Like you have a false self. Like when people give you compliments, you're like, whoa, who are they talking about? Are they talking about me? Anybody out there just feel like that? Or is that just me, right? If you feel like a fraud and you don't, yes, right? Thank you, beauty goals. Exactly. I think that a lot of us can go through that where we devalue all of our skill sets and what we bring to the table, and then we don't feel like we deserve it, or we don't feel like they're not talking about, they can't be talking about us, right? And so we have this fraud syndrome, right? This imposter syndrome, and you feel like a fraud because you devalue what you bring. You devalue the worth of the content that you're bringing forward. And you don't feel like you even deserve the kudos for that, right? You don't deserve the kudos of succeeding. What's that, Chris? All of us deal with this from time to time. It's a natural feeling when outstretching what you think is possible. Yes, exactly. I'm going to get to that in a second too, right? Because you haven't been there yet, Chris. We haven't been there yet. So we feel like we're frauds, and that's not true. You're just growing into wherever it is you're going, growing into your position, right? A common experience for many people that go through this, like Chris said, this is a natural feeling, is in business, right? Sometimes you're starting your own business or your own gig, or you're doing your side hustle, whatever it is, or even your career, and you start to feel like, oh, they're gonna find me out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything. I mean, shoot, I gotta ask for help, and that is okay. All right, that is okay. Like a real big thing for people who are in business or entrepreneurs, side gig, whatever you want to call it, right? They live with this fear that they're going to experience shame, that somebody's going to call them out, right? So they have this stress and this anxiety, like, oh shit, I can't fail. I can't, right? About they're like, oh, what if I don't get this right? What if I fail? What if I'm imperfect? And the truth is you are imperfect. Okay? I'm sorry to tell y'all, but you're imperfect. Right? And so don't worry about it if revealing to others. What's that? Normalize asking for help and not pretending to know everything. Yes, but you know what, Chris? That's hard, right? I mean, listen, you're a CEO of multiple companies, right? So you know what I'm talking about. That is really hard to do, but you have to do it. And once you do it and people realize that you're freaking human and that you are also someone who is learning and growing, they respect you more and you are more approachable. Okay. So remember that. Like, instead of you thinking, oh my God, they're going to know I don't know how to actually set up a, I don't know, website, a funnel or whatever. You don't have to know everything. Find people who know it and hire them. Right. So I love this. I saw this quote by Maya Angelou, and she said, if you guys don't know her, please look her up. Maya Angelou passed away, but she's a prize-winning author. Once said, after she published her 11th book, she said that every time she wrote another one, she would think to herself, uh-oh, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody. I remember when she did that, she was talking, I believe it was to Oprah, about that. And I was like, what? She still has imposter syndrome? The woman who has so much accolades and awards and books, and she's known everywhere. And she still said, oh, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody. Right? And so, Chris, could you put up what you said? I may not know the answer, but someone I employ does. Exactly. Exactly right. And that's the thing, though, is actually Chris coming to the point of saying, I don't know the answer. That's what's going to set you guys free, right? So overcome this imposter syndrome, or whatever you want to call it. Overcome it. You need to start with recognizing who you are, your potentials, and taking ownership of that. Take ownership of what you've done. Take ownership of your achievements and take ownership of your failures, because you're supposed to fail. If you fail, you started something. If you fail, that means you actually moved your ass to do something. A lot of people who've never failed never tried anything. All right. So just remember that. Not having, that thing in you to, I don't want to fail. Fail and fail forward. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. So that could be a reason why you're stuck. This imposter syndrome of you not thinking that you got what it takes, or that you're not valuing what you're worth. Right. Here's another one. This is I'm an action taker, so this is a little frustrating for me, but I'm trying to be very empathetic of that. And it's not having the ability to take any action. Sometimes, let me tell you, I've had people come and say, Neena, I want to work with you so bad. Here's my money. Here's my money, blah, blah, blah. I want to work with you, please. Okay. But sometimes people will even pay for things and then not do what they're supposed to do, or not use the product that they bought that they were going to make money with. Sometimes they'll even pay for things just to feel like they are taking action, but then they take no action. What is that? Right? And I get it. Sometimes you freeze when it comes to like taking action because, oh, shoot, I don't know where I'm going and I'm not moving forward. And so you feel stuck. But you have to realize that the biggest thing here is fear, right? You already bought the equipment. You're about to set up your store. Here you go. You're going to go for it. Boom. Then you do nothing. What is that? I want you to get over that. If you went and bought the equipment, obviously you have something in you that wants to move forward. What's that, Chris? Everything else falls into place when you stay in your lane. Good question to ask is, tell me what you see, because I am not grasping it as of yet. Yes, exactly. You know what? Tell me what you see. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is, Chris, right? I think that's a great question, by the way. Tell me what you see because I'm not grasping it yet. Is a way of humbling yourself and saying, I don't know it all. I don't know all the answers. But one of the things I do want you to think about, if you're feeling like, what's holding me back, are you taking action? Are you actually doing something? Right? Because I'm telling you that the only reason you bought all that equipment or did or bought that program or did that coaching package or did whatever, and you're not doing anything about it, is fear. And let me tell you, fear is an emotional response. I get it. Sometimes that happens, especially it comes at you when you don't understand what's happening. It's real. It's valid. It's sometimes tangible, right? It's something that you're like, holy crap, I'm about to make the biggest decision I've had to make as of yet, whether it comes for your family, where it comes from your life, where it comes from your career. I get it. Fear is real. But I need you to keep in mind that, you know, you are the one that needs to overcome that fear, or at least challenge yourself to move forward. We don't know what this is going to look like. You don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. You don't know what that next business deal is going to look like. You don't know, right? People need to realize it is not doubt. I'm sorry, it is not about how great you are. It's about how many great resources you have at your disposal. But see, Chris, that is a CEO mentality, right? Because a lot of times when people get into these businesses, they think they're supposed to do it all themselves. And then when I start questioning them, especially my coaching clients, and I start asking them about the tribe around them, they didn't realize they needed a tribe to get them to be successful. But you do need a tribe. And that's what I'm there for, to cheer them on. I actually stay with my clients for life. They can always bounce off ideas from me. That's what I want to do for them, right? What's that? It can't be a one woman or one man show. Right. Right. Exactly. There is no profit in that. There is no profit in that. You can't do anything a freaking alone. Nothing. Right? Except for die. You can die alone. But other than that, you can't really do anything alone. You really do need a tribe, guys. You really, really do. So if you're feeling stuck, or you feeling like something's holding you back, it could be that you're trying to be that one woman show, that one man show. It could be, right? Fear of success. I know, right? People are like, fear of success. Fear of success and fear of failure is something that we, you know, can understand, right? Fear of failure, we got it. Okay, got it. But fear of success, I was thinking about this because I'm like, what is fear of success? I mean, it sounds kind of retarded, really, but but many people fear what success is because they don't know what it looks like. They don't know what it'll feel like. They don't know what the experience will be. And success, as we see on TV and in movies, or maybe friends that you know, isn't always like 100% the best thing, right? And there's a part of you that is a little bit afraid of that and understands that maybe if you become successful, it's going to bring you too much attention. It's going to ask you, it's going to make you try to be something that you're not. It's going to disappoint you. And I get that. Success can really come in a scary package if you don't know it and have never been there before. And I know for me, I'm going for 7 figures, 8 figures, whatever success is for me, which is like really a thriving business and a thriving family. And I'm excited about it. But can it be scary? Yeah, because I've been around a lot of extremely uber wealthy people that are not very good people, right? So, perfect example is Greg, our COO. Do translates my crazy to the masses so I can stay within my zone and find your peeps. Exactly. Because you know what, Chris? Not everybody has your brain. Not everybody understands everything. And that's why we do need that support system, right? I always told you that I love your brain, because when you start talking, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, Chris, hold on, hold up. It's oozing out the side of my ear, right? So not everyone is going to get it, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. And success is something that, whatever success means to you, right? Success makes your life, could make your life easier in many ways, right? It could make your life easier if it's a financial success that you're looking for. It could make your life easier if it's something that you're looking for in family or development or business or leadership or whatever it is. Every situation is going to have its advantages and disadvantages, right? And you might be suffering from this fear of success. And if you are, you'll notice this about you, because you're going to constantly sabotage. You're going to constantly sabotage yourself, and you're going to have a really tough time pursuing what you want. And that's when you'll know you'll have this fear of success. I've actually started working on that with me, especially when it comes to like my health and wellness and weight loss, that I must have a fear of being successful because I'm afraid of failing from that success. I'm afraid that once I get there, can I maintain it? Will I be able to not identify with this person anymore and have to identify with a new person? This is some deep stuff I'm talking to you about, okay? I want you to understand what is holding you back. And after all of these things I talked to you about, imposter syndrome and fear of success and fear of failure and all this other stuff, at the end of the day, what is really holding you back is you. It's you, right? You have to stop allowing fears and all of these things to come at you. You're the only one that can do this, right? So changing your life is going to have to be by changing your behavior, changing your mindset, and perhaps even some of the belief systems that you have, right? So Jess, such a great live as always. Thank you, Jess. um and you have to think about that. I don't want this stopping you anymore. When you think about what's holding you back, I want you to start really taking into account what this could be and start changing your behaviors. Okay, if you see there's something that you're doing, this behavior is really sabotaging me. This is really causing me to stay stuck. Change the behavior, change that mindset. Even if it's just one thing at a time, guys, one thing at a time. Okay. You didn't get here all at once. You're not going to get out of it all at once, but you can change it, right? Perhaps even look at, what am I valuing? What do I believe? What do I actually seriously believe and value? Are those things serving you well or not? Right? Thinking about that is going to make you uncomfortable. You're going to be, not wanting to do it. Your brain is going to fight you all the way, but you need to do it. All right. Success is going to bring you a lot of pressure. You wanting to have success is going to make you think about what it is you are wanting to achieve. Right. And people look at this all differently in all different ways of what's holding you back from where it is you want to go. And in fact, many people really start ignoring all of these things, but they need to start paying attention. You need to start paying attention. You need to start paying attention of what's holding you back. I can't do that for you. You need to do that for you. Okay. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're not enthusiastically like going after stuff and going after your dreams, I need you to consider why you're not doing that. Are you afraid? Are you scared? What's scaring you? What's stopping you? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to all be done in 2 seconds. It's better though than not doing it at all, right? Every level requires a different version. Ain't that the truth? Yes, that is so true. And that's the thing. Once you start to become successful, this victim mentality stuff, you ain't going to play with that no more. And that's going to Chris's point, right? Every level requires a different version of you. And once you start like going up, once you start like really being successful and whatever success means to you, right? Hi, Jakob. How are you? And whatever that means, you have to know that as you start leveling up, you can't be keeping all this kind of mentality stuff going on. If you know that you are already like thriving, stop trying to be a victim if you're not. Okay, stop trying to make yourself what is that, like, relatable by trying to be a victim. No, if you've lifted up to another level, be that other level. Okay, if you are struggling with confidence, ask yourself how you can go ahead and get some confidence. All right. I need you to start working on you. I want you to overcome that. Take inventory. Know who you are. All right. And know that no matter what, you can get through another situation. You are not an imposter. You are sitting here helping others, doing things that you want to do to become successful. You have to start being kind to others, kind to yourself. Okay. And know that you have the ability to take action. And I want you to do it one step at a time. Just one step at a time. I love you guys so much. You guys are the best. Okay. Thank you for being here every Monday with me on WINJECT TV. I want you to be on my WINJECT community. So make sure you get on there. It's winject.com/register. I don't know why I don't see all your names on there already. So let's go, people. Let's move it. Take action. All right. Thank you guys for being with me. I love you so much. This is Neena Perez. Straight talk, no sugar added. Until next time.